In this video, you'll learn 4 things to do to lower insulin resistance without medication. To do this, it's helpful to have a framework of all of the levers that influence insulin and inflammation. We call these the pillars of health. They include nutrition, including what you eat and when you eat, physical activity, stress, and sleep. Now, all of these pillars are built on the foundation of a strong mindset. If you have negative, critical thoughts about yourself, your body, or your ability to lose weight or get healthy, those will cause self-sabotage. If you struggle with mindset, be sure to subscribe to this channel and check out the weight loss mindset playlist linked in the description. Let's start with the first pillar to lower insulin resistance without medications, and that includes what you eat and when you eat. We covered the basic principles of that pillar in this video that we'll link to in the description below so you can watch it next. A simple summary is to stay hydrated, focus on eating 30 to 40 grams of protein at each meal, get 25 to 35 grams of whole food fiber a day, reduce refined starches and sugars, and include plenty of healthy fats. The next pillar is physical activity. While any movement is better than none, there are a few specific kinds of movements that are better for lowering insulin resistance. Strength training should be the cornerstone of your exercise program because it has a higher return on your time and energy investment. Minute for minute, strength training may improve insulin sensitivity better than aerobic training. A well-designed strength program kills the most birds with one stone. Resistance exercise should take precedence to walking, flexibility, or balance training. If you want to enjoy an active and independent retirement as long as possible, start making strength training a priority now. Exercise is a very underprescribed intervention by physicians. Unlike prescription drugs, which have a single target, exercise has many diverse and systemic benefits. The weekly recommendation is to strengthen all major muscle groups 2 to 3 times per week at a moderate to high intensity. This means you have muscle fatigue and can't do another repetition of the movement with good form after about 5 to 12 repetitions. A good goal is 2 to 3 sets for moderate intensity and 3 to 5 sets for high intensity strength training. We recommend you set up a session with a personal trainer or physical therapist to get started on an appropriate program for you. The next pillar to focus on is sleep. When I was younger, I'd always say, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Then I had kids, and now I know the importance of sleep. When you're sleep deprived, you'll have greater carb cravings, less motivation, and less self-control. A triple whammy for staying on track with your nutrition and exercise plans. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night. If you're not sleeping well, there could be many reasons why. 2 of the more common reasons we see are caffeine and a poor light environment. The half-life of caffeine can be up to 10 hours in some people. This means if you have a cup of coffee at 10 a.m., half of the caffeine could still be in your system by 8 p.m. There's no doubt that caffeine is addictive. I stopped drinking caffeinated coffee several months ago, and the first month was pretty bad. I felt like a zombie. But it did improve my sleep, and over time, my energy stabilized and actually improved throughout the day. So if you haven't already switched to decaf and you're struggling with sleep, stop denying yourself the pleasure of better sleep and just quit the caffeine. The second tip is to modify your light environment. If it's dark outside, it should be dark inside. If you're like me and enjoy watching TV at night, please do yourself a favor and wear these blue light blocking glasses. These block blue light that's coming from your phone, tablet, and computer. This blue light causes cortisol to be produced to keep you alert. Because blue light is naturally found in our environment when the sun is up. But when the sun goes down, if you don't block the blue light, your cortisol won't come down. And cortisol and melatonin, or your sleepy hormone, are in a teeter-totter with each other. So if cortisol doesn't go down, melatonin can't come up. That's why we sleep like garbage when we're stressed. Speaking of stress, that's the last pillar. Often, like sleep, stress management is a commonly overlooked piece of the insulin resistance and weight loss puzzle. As Jason Fung says in the Obesity Code, stress contains neither calories nor carbohydrates but contributes to obesity. That's because chronic stress raises cortisol. Cortisol raises blood sugars. Those increased blood sugar levels raise insulin, and elevated insulin over a long period of time leads to insulin resistance. So if you're burning both ends of the candle trying to get ahead at work, remember you're getting behind with your health. And if you don't take care of your physical body, eventually that will catch up with your productivity and work capacity. So take care of yourself now so that you can continue to be productive and contribute how you want at work, home, and your community down the road. So often, nutrition and exercise are linked with weight loss, but it's far more important to recognize that improving these two pillars will also improve your sleep and mental health. In a recent Netflix documentary with Jonah Hill and his therapist estimates that 85% of anxiety or depression-related symptoms improve with proper diet, exercise, and sleep. The tricky thing with stress is that there are so many forms of stress: environmental toxins, physical stress, and psychological stress, just to name a few. For most, the biggest culprit of stress is mental and emotional or psychological stress, often caused by our own thoughts. When you learn how to control your thoughts and direct them to more positive, productive ones, you will notice a drastic decrease in stress. Remember to watch the video with the diet tips to lower insulin resistance fast next. I didn't reiterate that information here, but it's very important to lower insulin resistance, so we'll link to it below. And be sure to subscribe to this channel for more on how to lower insulin resistance, lose weight, and keep it off to improve your health.